Progress Seekers morning ride. I trust you, Baba. Somebody asked me, so if I ask for just one simple advice, what would be your best one for me as a progress seeker? And I can summarize it. Well, if we use the full words, do not stop. 3 words. Do not stop. If we use the short inflection, only 2 words. Don't stop. Obviously, look at me. The other half of it is keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep pushing. Yeah. Namvula. Keep pushing. This morning, I am out and about. I'm going to work. I'm going to work because I cannot stop. Linda, I cannot stop. I still do need to raise an income so that I can build a capital for the things that I need to happen. Don't stop. We keep going. Last year, I wanted to transform my outcomes. And at the time, I didn't know what I could do to transform my outcomes. So I was looking for various opportunities. And I found one of the best opportunities of my life for this summer. Summer Academy. Summer Academy was a phenomenal opportunity. It was phenomenal for various reasons. One, they paid us in our summer holidays, which was an extra capital that comes into my system, and that was very, very useful. 2, I got to teach something that is my passion, and I have added that to my CV. Leadership and public speaking instructor is not something that I can do. It is something that I have done. Yeah. Dauda. It's not something I can do. It's not something I do recreationally. It's something that I do have experience of doing professionally. And I can get references for right now. I can get references for that right now. How did I get there? I spent the whole of last academic year looking to see what else I could add to my arsenal, where else I could step in. At the time when I was searching, I did not even know Summer Academy existed. I did not. I just started looking at local institutions, and I was following local institutions. In fact, what I was actually looking for was teacher training institutions here and how those institutions might offer the ability to use my qualifications in education. That's what I was looking at. That is what I was looking at. Interestingly, Summer Academy came up, and Summer Academy has served me well. A colleague was asking me, how did you find it? I found it through my own searches. It was not recommended to me by nobody. How did I find it? Through my searches. I was constantly on the internet searching. And because I was constantly on the go, eventually my persistence was rewarded. Yeah, Imalex, my persistence was rewarded. Don't stop. Your keyword is resilience. You have to find it within you to build the systems that keep you going. You do not stop. When you are tired, you keep moving. When you are frustrated, you keep moving. When you haven't slept well, you keep moving. People get on your nerves, you keep moving. Your strategy is not perfect yet. You keep working on it. And I am giving that as my best advice because over time, I have come to know that that is what gets me results. Anytime I eventually get results, hey, Masigo, how you doing? Anytime I eventually get results, people would ask me for tips, or sometimes it's myself who would require to review my own system so I can see what works. And as I review my systems, especially systems that have got me results, as I have reviewed it over time, I have discovered over a long period of time that it is my dogged determination to keep going. It is my refusal to stop. It is pushing that gets me there. Yesterday, I gave some ridiculous speech on a topic that a lot of my audience did not know about and did not care about. And I had found a way to get them to listen regardless, to pay attention regardless. And at the end, a guest asked me, how are you able to? And I said to the person, practice. Continuously going. Antonia, continuously going. Pushing. I have a speech that I want to use. Old girl, how you doing? I want to use the speech maybe in November. I started writing that speech in May. The first embers of that speech was written in May. And since May, I haven't stopped. Last week, I refined it. Today in the morning, as soon as I sat in the car, something came to me. And guess what? I recorded the audio. The next opportunity I get to refine the speech, I will be on. And I will work on it, and I will work on it, and I will work on it, and eventually, I will get there. Yeah, Olanike. Eventually, I'll get there. When I eventually get there, it will not be because the speech came easy to me. It will not be because of writing skills that I refined and honed and get it immediately. No. Yeah, Dixon. It will be because I have pushed. And I have pushed. And I have kept going. And I have improved. And I have refined. And eventually got into a state that fits a purpose. You want to make money? Don't stop. Keep advertising. Don't stop. Keep talking about your products. Don't stop. Keep showcasing yourself. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Try new things. Sometimes return to try old things. When you try old things, try and make a small change. Make it slightly new in some way and see what happens. You spoke to Shelley. You asked Shelley Barrow to do something with you 6 months ago. And Shelley said no. That no was for then. The answer doesn't necessarily mean it's the same one for right now. Shelley's no was not permanent. Shelley's no reflected that season, that phase. Go back to Shelley and have that conversation with Shelley. Hey Shelley, I spoke to you about this 6 months ago. At the time, it didn't fit. Might it be a better fit now? If Shelley says no, put her on your timetable for 6 months' time. In the meantime, start looking at how you asked Shelley. Are there alternative ways in which you could ask Shirley when it is 6 months' time? Sometimes you scheduled it for 6 months' time, but it might be that as time goes on, something happens in the environment which makes what you were talking to her about more urgent and more relevant. You find a way to bring it up to Shirley in a new way. I have persisted and I have asked somebody repeatedly for something, repeatedly on speed dial. It got to a point where I would have a sheepish grin on my face when it was time to ask again. And they would have a matching sheepish grin when I asked again, knowing that they were going to refuse. One time, I was about to ask with the same sheepish look on my face. The person looked at me and the person says, "You will never stop, will you?" I never will. I will keep at it continuously until the outcome changes. You know what she said to me? Well, saying no now is just delaying the inevitable further, isn't it? That time I burst out laughing. She burst out laughing. I was not mad. And eventually, when the person gave me time and I explained what this was and I matched what this was to the person's needs, her jaw was slack. Girl, is this what? Oh my God. Thank God you don't stop. Thank God for your persistence. Because if you were one of those people who pulled a punch, this conversation will not have happened. And one of the best opportunities for me to do this would not have happened. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes you are just a crazy person who refuses to apply common sense. Yeah, common sense says get tired. No. Arena. Hey, no, I think your name is Arena. Ariana. I think it might even be Arena. Arena. I said right the first time. Look, when your name is new, like Nula, you will have to be patient with me. Okay? This morning videos that I make them as my act of defiance. Every morning I will share a message. It doesn't work well because people here in the Middle East, the civilized ones anyway, are not really awake. The people in Europe are fast asleep. They are asleep. And those in North America are getting ready to sleep. So this particular time is not the greatest of times, but it's the time I have available. I have 4 of you watching this live. And people will ask me, what's the point in spending this time in the morning with 4? It's not worth it. But I keep going every day. You know what I've noticed? This compilation of videos is one of my most powerful set, because at this time in the morning, I feel I'm quite reflective. At this time, I want to get in people's heads, because I need to get in my own head in the morning to affect my attitude so that my outcomes might also be altered. The words that I share at this time inspire me. And so it has become a very comprehensive body of work for me. Comprehensive. Imagine the last year, I would have had at least 300 such messages If I continue this year, that makes it 600 such messages that are in my repository, and I can use to repurpose and use to move my channel on, or to start new channels, or even to showcase my skills to people. It is a very convincing, comprehensive body of work. How do you create it? You create that body of work by not stopping. If there is 4 people today, we will still have this conversation. We won't stop. If it went down to 0, I will not end the video. I will not stop. We will continue. I will continue. And because I will do it again tomorrow morning, regardless of how many people watched this one, I'll do it again in the morning. Guess what? The following morning, what will happen? I will do it again. Yeah. Tabs. Tomorrow morning, I'll do it again. And by doing it again and again and again, and refusing to be discouraged, Pandora, is how you set yourself up so that one day somebody with a good platform might be scrolling through and the person will see a video. Yeah. Pelagia. And the person will see a video like mine. The person is like, why are people not watching this video? Why? Why is there only 2 people watching? The person will click share. Boom. One day, yesterday, somebody found me from the States. A person is not somebody who would typically be in my ecosystem. The person went on LinkedIn. Then the person saw my profile on LinkedIn. And the person wanted to collaborate. Yeah, LinkedIn is a place I don't even have a lot of attention. I'm brand new there. But I put my body of work there, even when it doesn't seem to be serving anybody in particular, even when there isn't a particular target audience. My body of work is there. Self-advocacy is something that is my job, it's my responsibility to do. I must do it for myself. And so guess what? We keep going anyway. We don't stop. It has been a theme in my life for a long time. And when I sit down to think of all the things I do, which ones lead me to the best outcomes, this is one of, if not the most significant I can come up with. If it's not the most significant, it is certainly one of the most. If it's not the most impactful, it is at least one of the most. So Claudette, when I am asked to find my best tip, you best know that don't stop is going to be one of them. When I am myself reliving some of the things that help me to get outcomes, don't stop. King Lalas, how you doing, bro? Good morning. Yeah, don't stop. Keep going. Keep moving. Keep pushing. Oh, keep going. When there is support. Who is that idiot? When there is support, keep going. When there is no support, keep going anyway. When there are results, don't stop. When there is no results, don't stop still. Sister Kim, blessings, my love. When there seems a point in doing it, don't stop. Even when you struggle to find a point, don't stop anyway. Don't stop. Whatever you do, don't stop. Yesterday, a person says, Amma, you've been carrying on recently about us exploring AI. When I went and I tried to search for AI, I didn't find it. And I'm like, so go and search again. What do you mean? I searched, I didn't find it. Can I go back and search? What did you put in your search? How to use AI. And don't go and type the same thing. What can I do with AI to change my life? And go back to AI, go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to tell you, how can I use you and all your cousins to help me change my life? Ask it this morning. If you don't like its answer, ask in the afternoon. If it doesn't give you a suitable, ask in the evening. When you are about to go to sleep, ask again. Ask it in simple English. Ask it in complex English. Ask in broken English. Keep asking. Because you see, not even just in ChatGPT, you should also go to Google and search. What is more powerful for me is the testimonials of what people are doing. You might be on the internet, as I was maybe 2 years ago, and I discovered an entrepreneur who was very similar to me, and the person had a testimony on how they were using AI. I started using AI before ChatGPT burst on the scene. I used to use a tool called TinyWow. Yeah, TinyWow. I used to use TinyWow to generate text for my blogs way before ChatGPT became ChatGPT. Yeah, and I discovered TinyWow, and I was using it because it was in somebody's testimonial that I went and found that they were doing this, and the person had fortunately mentioned the name of the tool. I went straight in. Yes, you are going to have to spend some time to get information. Yeah. You know, Masigo, that is one of the things that everybody who knows me, especially the people who knew me in my late teens and my early 20s, always recount. A group of friends, I decided that I'm speaking to all my people this summer. I lost a very good friend of mine. One of the reasons, well, I felt awful when we lost him. But in the process, I realized that this particular one I hadn't spent much time talking to recently. So I made myself a promise that I will speak to my people. So I started calling my people and checking in with my people. And as I started speaking to them, everybody would go, Met Amamanson. Amamanson, oh my God, do you remember? And they will recount their story. I asked for you, you know, the one thing I remember about you. And it was a funny thing. I went to my high school reunion and the girls were saying exactly the same thing. But yeah, it is resounding. It is unanimous. When you speak to people who knew me in that time, they will tell you that I didn't stop. There's a friend of mine in particular who says, you know, I have never met a human being like you who was more determined to go and to get. And so now I see some of the progress you are making, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it is the only thing I have, the capacity to keep going. So if you ask me to share a tip, that's what I'll share with you as my best bet. Keep going. Don't stop. Yeah. Akita, how you doing? I am enjoying this conversation with you, but the truth is I've also arrived at work and do need to go settle down and set up. So why don't we do this? Wrap up. In the afternoon, I'll try very much to continue this. And if I get questions on this that tell me that this is not quite done, then yeah, we shall continue. See you, love. Bye.